Wow. He hit a chord at the end. It reminded me of those like parody songs where they do it all with a kazoo or a recorder. That's what it felt like right there. Hello, everyone. We interrupt your feed of Stranger Things theories and very wrong opinions about the show to bring you the final episode of Magic Month in the next month. Welcome to December, everybody. You're not going to believe what we're ending it with. It's not Wicked, and it's not his wife and my sister this time, although I'm sure all of you are the people that have just never commented on anything we've ever done will now just be flooding everything with bring back Katie, bring back Grace. And to that, I'll say, just wait until they start a podcast. It's going to happen, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Just wait. Absolutely. And eventually you can migrate over there.
You know, maybe we'll get them back on for like a special about some stupid drama. I know that Grace is excited for the Summer I Turned Pretty movie.
They're making a movie for that?
Unfortunately.
I thought it was over. I thought it ended.
I know. I was like, thank goodness.
Hi, Tristan, they're making a movie?
Oh, all of the light.
There's no way.
Or Crazy Rich Asians Part 2.
They're making a second one of that?
I don't know. Crazy Rich Asians actually was pretty good, though. I did end up getting roped into that movie. It's actually really unfortunate how that happened. Grace left to go do the laundry and change Oakley's diaper, and
there you were.
Yep. And Grace is like, Tristan, turn my show off. I want to finish it. And I'm like, no way, bro. Stuff's getting interesting.
I'm into this. Grace, did you know that these Asians are crazy and rich?
Anyways, yes. It's the end of Magic Month. Really, this is now the calm before the end of your storm.
There's a lot coming out
for
in
us
December
going on.
I'm pumped. Albeit there's so many, there's like 3 movies I want to go see this week. So, but next week's gonna be the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 episode.
Mm-hmm. Excited. We've been talking about that one since
for a minute,
since like June.
As flawed as the first one was, everyone was like, I can't wait for the next one. Yeah, just as long and clear from the marketing, it looks like it's gonna end up being much scarier and a lot more intense.
I hope it is.
It better be.
If they build a fort with the withered animatronics, I'm walking out of the theater. And after that, we have the new Avatar.
Mm-hmm.
Is that December 19th? I'm going to say it is.
I don't remember off the top of my head, but it's this month.
Do we have anything else?
Yes, but don't need to get too far.
Yeah, sorry.
It's not like we publish a schedule because that will never be right or consistent. So
we have tried.
I can't do that.
Many of times have we tried. Anyways, take it away, Trevor.
Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, parts 1 and 2.
I'm gonna be honest.
Thank goodness, finally. You've never been honest before.
No. This might be an unpopular opinion. I don't think that the Deathly Hallows deserved a part 1 and 2.
Well, I don't know if it was so much like a deserving thing or just like a
money grab.
Yeah, like we're gonna, push this, and to be frank, it did begin the whole part 1 and 2 thing that still goes on today.
Unfortunately,
or fortunately, I think the only one that has done it genuinely correctly, albeit I will say that like the way that they split Deathly Hallows into part 1 and 2 worked.
Yeah,
for the story and the filmmaking box office stuff. I think the only other one that really worked was Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah,
that's not what we're talking about, I guess.
But yeah, but one could say that that's not necessarily like it. It is a 1 and 2. But they market it in a way that it makes it seem like it's not like a 1 and 2, right? Like Mockingjay. part 1 and part 2. You're like, nothing really happened.
Yeah.
In the first act, in fact, Mockingjay was a boring book until the last quarter of the book. So making it a 2-parter movie, that first part, you're like, this sucks. This is terrible. Anyways, I like watching it again. They're good. They're good. I think by the time that I get to the Deathly Hallows, I have just me personally, my journey, like my journey through the movies, I'm like really, really high. And then we start getting to like the Order of the Phoenix and then like the Half-Blood Prince. And then by the time the Deathly Hallows comes around, I'm like, I'm so sick and tired of Harry Potter as a character. He's such a wuss. Everybody does everything for him. And then you get to this movie and you're like, oh my gosh, he still can't fight his own battles. Everyone around him dies and he's like, I'm so sad.
How dare you stand where he stood? Also,
die for me.
I was getting so distracted because the whole time I'm just thinking, hi, I'm Tristan and you're watching Disney Channel. That's just the whole thing. I'm really, really high. Anyway.
That's kind of my thing.
To that end, I say like, not in defense of this, because I do agree with you in a bit. But one, I guess he's 17 still.
Yeah.
Homeboy hasn't fully gotten through puberty yet. Albeit Daniel Radcliffe was in like his early 20s. So
he was a grown man.
He's freaking growing scruff and stuff. You're like that's not a 17-year-old scruff. Like I can.
That's not patchy.
Like I can tell.
That's pretty full.
Like I think he takes.
I'm
thinking Harry Potter grown a beard before.
But I don't know. That's just kind of like my thing. By the time I get to the Deathly Hallows, I'm like, I'm no longer invested. I guess I want to say like the story goes and it has its highs and lows, and then you get the story has its highs and lows, but really it's just kind of like by that point I'm just like,
yeah, I don't. Obviously,
it just drags.
For the third time in a row, I'd say that I don't want to bring up like the books too much, but I do think that like the movies didn't necessarily adapt the story of Deathly Hallows in the best way possible, and I do partly blame splitting it into 2 parts for that.
Yeah,
but at the same time, part 1 was a much better movie than part 2.
Yeah.
To me.
Part 2 just like it feels like by the time they got the part 2, they're just like, throw it all in there, right? It's like the Rise of Skywalker, where you're like, they have so many, it's not as bad as the Rise of Skywalker. Don't come after me for that. But like there's so many like loose ends that they're like, all right. Big nothing ball. Here you go. Do something with that. Right. Granted, much worse in the latter than what we're actually supposed to be talking about. But that's how part 2 of the Deathly Hallows feels to me.
Yeah. But I guess if we're going to keep up what we've been doing the last few times, let's just focus on part 1 for a little bit here.
Okay.
The thing that's like on my mind right now is like part 1 has a different tone than nearly every other Harry Potter movie. It's pretty similar to Half-Blood Prince in a way, but like it actually kind of feels like it's a mystery movie almost.
Yeah, it's just
with stakes.
I was gonna say it seems very doom and gloom, right? Like and I'm also
the enemy
sure
won
that the entire movie, like that entire movie, is filmed only in grayscale.
Somewhat, yeah.
Right? Like they must have just had like, not like complete grayscale, but how, I don't know what it's called, but where like certain colors like kind
the
of come
saturation
through.
is turned way down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can see like a dull green or a dull red,
Yeah,
but it's just kind of gray.
Yeah, it felt like they were trying to take kind of the serious expository vibes of Half-Blood Prince with the color grading of Prisoner of Azkaban. It very much feels like oh yeah, they spend a lot of time outside and it's sad. So and it's still England, so gray, cloudy, windy. I've never been to Britain.
That's why these movies couldn't be based off of U.S. schools.
Unless they went to Washington.
That's true.
It has a whole rainforest.
Or like Northern California, the Oregon coast. Pretty sure
the PNW.
Pretty sure all of Maine.
The PNW you could go to. Oh, yeah. Also, oh my gosh, his name is going to slip me right as I want to talk about him.
Rupert Grint.
No, he's the actor for Davy Jones. Oh, he plays like the new minister after the old one is gone. And he's like, it feels like a wasted talent to me.
It is.
Because I love that guy.
Oh, his name is like something Grimoire or something. Not in the.
Oh yeah. I'm talking about like the actor. I can't remember the actor's name.
Falls spilling into the abyss.
Harry, you afraid to get wet?
Oh,
Albus Dumbledore left you a snitch.
It's just Joe Chang. The very first snitch you caught. This makes opening it a lot more difficult.
I put my mouth on that one too.
Oh, there was a surprise in that one. It just involved me going to school jail.
You know, if I'm going to be completely honest right now, not one time have I ever thought about the golden snitch as like snitch, as in rat. I've never just made that simple word correlation until you bring that up.
He pulls Joe Chang out of the hat and he's like, "What the?"
Hi, Harry.
Make that entire scene. He's like, well, next is the Godric Gryffindor's sword. Do with this what you want.
The dang, I don't remember the actual name of the contraption.
De-illuminator. Deluminator. Something like that. That's what it's called.
J.K. Rowling, once again, right on the money.
Hold on. That's something we didn't talk about. And I feel like we must highlight that.
Yeah.
We interrupt this segment about the Deathly Hallows and rewind a couple more books.
Everyone knows this.
Movies.
J.K. Rowling, I don't know, if she was asking her kids to help name characters or, obviously she has some controversial views. So it kind of is reflected in how she names some people.
Cho Chang. Got Harry Potter. Okay. You've got Lucius Malfoy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Narcissa Malfoy.
Oh, she's full of herself.
Yeah. Kingsley Shacklebolt.
What's he look like? Cho Chang. What's she look like? She put a lot of creativity into the, standard British people. Dolores Umbridge.
Cho Chang. Oh, that's the stuff right there.
Draco, as in Drake, as in snake, as in lizard, as in Slytherin, as in snake.
Kingsley Shacklebolt. Anyways, back to the
He's
Deathly
got style.
What I enjoyed about Deathly Hallows Part 1. going off of what we've said before, obviously I enjoy this, like the practical effects. Like I love the scenery, especially when they go back to the Ministry of Magic. It's always pretty to see that, like just that whole concept of everything. But I actually really enjoy that scene, those scenes in particular. Just as someone who's read the books and can like compare those two scenes to each other, like they're pretty good. And I really enjoy like when Ron's like, they've got my wife and kids.
Mary,
take the kids, run away. Like,
yeah, those parts felt like when they have the polyjuice potions in Ministry of Magic is definitely one of the better segments of the film, because that's when it really feels like espionage, which kind of a newer genre for that series to explore, because obviously they've done some like sneaking around before, but it was always like very childlike sneaking, the kind of a sneaking around kind of a thing, versus this one,
like breaking and entering,
straight up Mission Impossible. You put on the mask and you get in there, and then the one-liner, "I must not tell lies," obviously.
What I didn't like about this movie, it is long. This one and the next one, but like this one takes a minute to get to anything, like, because in the other movies, like they get into the action, like if not like the action of the story, they get into action scenes that capture like your attention.
They have good cold opens.
Yeah, like often, right?
Yeah.
There's either they're either running through the halls, they're
flying car,
they're practicing magic with each other, they're fighting, they're
blowing up their aunt.
Yeah, they're doing Quidditch, right?
Yeah.
This movie like is such like it's just one long continuous cold open. You're like, okay, are we warming up at all? Like that's something that I always struggle with watching this one, is it's just it drags.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it necessarily drags in like this is so boring, but compared to what we have prior, you're like, you can tell there's a big difference in how you feel watching it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Are we on to me? We on to me then?
Mm-hmm.
What I enjoy the most about Deathly Hallows Part 1 is I think that this, to me, is the best acting in the series.
Yeah.
Amongst everybody. I think that Daniel Radcliffe is finally like, he knows his role, and he's obviously very much one with the character at this point, as with all of them that have been through it.
Yeah.
For the whole thing. But like, all of the really intimate dialogue scenes in the tent, whether it be with all three of them or, with just the two of them, Ron, when he has the Horcrux on, Rupert Grint does a good job of conveying, artificial anger in a way.
Yeah.
Your parents are dead. Oh. Yeah. And then, the scene that they like wrote for the movie with Harry and Hermione dancing one another, that's one of the better scenes.
Yeah.
In the whole film, if not in like the series. I really like that one. Obviously, it blew up on Tumblr and stuff, but like
wow.
Everyone. Even now, I'll see people who are like, Harry and Hermione would have made a better couple. Like,
yeah. Well, and continue. I don't know where I was going to go with that.
There you go, being honest again. My
guy. Bad. I got to put it away.
And I guess to kind of correlate with what you liked, I do really like how much effort the movie making team did with trying to get as much practical magic as possible. Especially like with the Ministry of Magic, the papers flying everywhere when they're running away, and obviously, they like constantly apparate in this movie. They're always relocating to new places, but like, obviously, when Ron is splinched and Harry needs to get that one vial of whatever out of Hermione's bag and he can't find it, so he just summons it and it just pops up. Like, clearly that was very much done. There's probably a hole in the ground with piston or someone's hand.
Yeah.
That's one of those things that like I imagine
Accio potion.
The person that like was in charge of designing all of that, like, this is Trevor's movie perspective here. When like things like that happen, you got to imagine like the person who was in charge of that, they must have been so satisfied with their work when they watch it and it works.
Also, like the amount of pressure on them, like, all right, well, if I flip this and the bottle flips and does spins, ruins the entire scene.
Like with like the paper flying everywhere, it's like it's gonna take a while to reset that if you have to do another take. So you're really trusting the actors and the camera crew and everybody.
Or like the shots with the water, like when they when Ron and Hermione do
when they break the Horcrux,
the cup. Yeah.
Oh, the cup, the
cup and all of the water, like, because like I've seen the green screen footage of that. That would have been brutal, not only on the actor's part because you're not seeing anything, but also like how you said, getting everything loaded. Like, now we gotta fill up another 40-gallon tank.
And we need to dry our actors off.
Yeah, and
they probably need new costumes. Like, goodness gracious,
that take, they probably do one of those takes a day.
They'd probably have a whole day dedicated to those things.
They get done with the take and they're like, oh my gosh, he's smiling. All right, we'll see you Tuesday. Run it again.
Imagine they still just had to have been like such a blast to work on though.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially with, I'm sure that they tried to introduce like newer technology for some of these things, especially with like animation and with like correlation with set design stuff. Like, oh goodness, I've gotten us onto a tangent. Not really talking about the movie.
No, but it's appropriate, right? Because it's
yep,
yeah. No, it's appropriate topic because it's not like it just happens once or twice. Like every movie, they're doing stuff like this, and obviously by the time they get to the Deathly Hallows, like the technology's gotten pretty far that they can fake CGI magic pretty well. But like you think of like those first movies, you don't see a lot of movement and stuff because you can watch the technology grow and get better as the movies go along.
How neat. Gosh, I love movies.
Yeah.
I love movie making.
The science that's behind the science and like what actually goes on behind the scenes to me sometimes is far more fascinating than like what I'm actually watching.
If anyone at home has ever looked at a movie's budget and you wonder, like, how did that cost $300 million? I'm hoping that we can kind of help you understand. There's large crews and all of them need to be paid. And
can you imagine the Foley work on movies like this?
Had have been so dope. Like, honestly, Harry Potter sound design probably doesn't get talked about enough.
No.
I'm not saying it should be up there with the likes of like Star Wars or anything.
Or like A Quiet
Place.
But
man, like with the way that some of those spells sound and the magical beasts and just the sounds of Hogwarts.
Just, the hustle and bustle of the world.
People walking, background audiences talking and the snap of the wand and the crackle of fire and the pop of Rice Krispies. You want to go to part 2?
Yeah. I was going to try to think of a segment there, but I don't think I've ever actually
Segued?
Yeah.
Oh, well, hey, let's
Usually-
try. Let's
usually,
practice. Let's practice.
What do I say?
How about something like, speaking of part 1, how about part 2?
Speaking of part 2, how about part?
It's okay. You're back on 1. Back
It's
on
May.
1.
It's Star Wars month.
Welcome back.
No, part 2.
This is one of those ones that's like, it's very strange because I remember the marketing for this movie when I was little. I was 8 years old when this movie came out.
I remember when the Deathly Hallows book came out.
Yeah.
I remember going to Walmart in Logan and seeing stacks upon stacks of like these books on pallets. You know, like they have like the sodas sitting up front.
Yeah.
You can just grab it.
Books.
Just books of this. And I was like, oh, what's cool about this? I remember I read this book first because I wanted to know what the hustle and bustle was. So I checked it out from my library. And then when I got done with it, my librarian was like, oh, was it a good end? And I'm like, this is the first book I've read. She's like, a what? Tristan, this is like 8 years that you now just read in one book. I'm like, oh, well,
Did you understand it?
No. This is Voldemort guy, and why does he hate Harry?
Who are these people?
Why is he called the Chosen One?
The Resurrection Stone.
Something about a stone and a blanket.
I have to say that, invisibility cloak, cool, callback, all of that. Elder Wand, cool, connected to Dumbledore. He had it the whole time. The whole Resurrection Stone being in the snitch, cool. However, the activation of it, I freaking hate. Flip it 3 times in your hand. What? Come on.
Come on, Cho. Show me your secrets.
We're back to this. Never can we bring up a snitch again.
Darn it.
I'm going to be watching Order of the Phoenix and that their kissing scene. I'm going to be like, 150 points to Gryffindor. Gryffindor wins.
And for Harry, for finally growing some balls.
We have a girlfriend.
I think new banners.
Wasn't he already
new-
dating Ginny at this point?
New
though?
banners are in store. New decoration. It's just Joe's face. Okay. Well, now that I've derailed us again,
Deathly Hallows Part 2.
it's May. It's Star Wars month.
I'm trying to remember where this one begins
I don't know.
because it's been a minute since I've really watched this movie.
It's been a minute since I've watched any of them, if I can
But
be honest.
but yeah,
I
we do
think
our homework here at the Frame Rate Podcast.
It's hard to do. This is my thing. It's hard to do your homework when you have to, if we're watching a singular movie for an episode, it's really easy because that's like an hour and a half, 2 hours of my time. Like when you're watching an entire, the only reason why Star Wars month worked so well for us is because we've watched Star Wars
We know them really well.
a lot over our lives. Harry Potter, I've probably seen maybe once or twice all the way through.
I've definitely watched them a lot. I loved those movies growing up. I watched them all the time.
And because they weren't my favorite.
Had the whole Blu-ray disc set.
Yeah, because they weren't my favorite thing. I didn't retain the information like I did Star Wars, right? However,
A lesson on childhood nostalgia.
I can't remember where this one opens up.
That's okay.
I'm going to be honest. I don't really remember what happens much in this movie.
This is
other than the closing act.
well, the whole thing, they got to get back to Hogwarts to find the diadem.
Yeah, the crown.
Which
Right.
to this day, that's the only time I've ever heard a tiara called a diadem. I'm sure that there's a distinct difference. Like what makes something a diadem and not a tiara.
Yeah.
Whatever. Maybe a giant gem in the middle.
It's for all that stupid crap.
But when
across
I
the
was
pond.
when I was little and reading
I'm an American.
reading that,
We don't even know what tiaras are, really.
I had no idea how to pronounce it when I was little. When I was reading, I was like diadem. What?
Yeah.
Like, is that another spell?
I didn't even know what it was until like I watched the movie and I was like, it's a crown.
You know, now that we're talking about the Horcruxes here, something that I do wish they were able to fit into the movie, which obviously I can tell from a writing standpoint why they didn't include them. But I remember really liking the backstory behind every Horcrux. Like how they became Horcruxes.
Well, and they also the screen time that each Horcrux gets in the movie, like when I read the Deathly Hallows back through like last year, when I read all the Harry Potter books, like I got to the Deathly Hallows, and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even remember there was more Horcruxes because it going off of my movie knowledge, like they have so little screen time. You see them for like 5 seconds. They're like, Helga Hufflepuff's cup. How did it get here?
That one probably is the most, given that it has so much leading to it.
But like the diadem hardly shows up. Like there's
the room requirement. Oh, on fire.
Right.
Oh, and the spell they used to cast on fire also happens to destroy Horcruxes. Albeit that had been discussed before. It had been mentioned, so I'm not like mad about it.
It's just like when I read through the book, I was like, oh my gosh, this is one. What? I didn't even know that. Right.
Like they do have a little bit, obviously, so you're not completely lost. You know, Harry talking to that ghost about getting the diadem and talking to the goblin about getting the cup out of Bellatrix's vault and all of that stuff. But you know, I kind of
multiply in the movie like it does
the
in
fake
book?
ones, all of the fake things in the vault. Yeah, they
multiply. But I back to it. I agree. I wish that they would have been able. You think with 2 parts that they would have been able to dive into why these were so important.
Yeah. But I can understand how, like, from like a visual watching standpoint, the constant like flashbacks, like Tom Riddle killing somebody to make this object a Horcrux, would probably get kind of old. And maybe not as interesting every time.
Yeah.
But like when you're reading it, it's very interesting.
It is. It's very captivating. So there's that. I would probably say, just jumping to the next stuff that I remember off the top of my head, like what happens right before the Battle of Hogwarts, right? When he kisses the snitch and then he goes out in the woods. And I always thought that the Resurrection Stone was stupid. Not because it's like a dumb thing in concept, but because in both the book and the movie, it's just plot armor. Like it's got such a cool backstory to it, and then it shows up and it's like, oh, I'm gonna drop it in the grass now. It's a rock. You're like,
yeah.
what?
I mean, like Harry understand like him. You know, this is definitely just supposed to be like supposed to show like he's the polar opposite of Voldemort, right? Voldemort collected powerful objects. He made them into Horcruxes so that way, like he always had them and they were always connected to him. They were his, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But Harry was like, oh, I have an invisibility cloak. You have it. Like, oh my gosh, the Resurrection Stone was in the snitch. Yeah. And obviously in the book, with the Elder Wand, he uses it to repair his actual wand, and then he breaks it. But in the movie, he just breaks it and then tosses it off the bridge. Same principle, but you know, why didn't he fix his wand in the movie?
Yeah, it's just like all these other like the other.
We can't afford any more CG shots.
The other 2 Deathly Hallows like have such a cool, like, have cool screen time, right?
Yeah,
like, and then it gets to the Resurrection Stone, and he's like, I don't know. That always has been something that's bothered me. And that's just even coming from the book standpoint. I remember reading it and I was like, genuinely, and I mean no disrespect to Mrs. Rowling if she's watching.
I do. I'm kidding.
It seems like at this point that she just got sick and tired of writing. So by the time she gets to these scenes in the book, she's like, oh my dude, I gotta figure out something to do with this damn stone. Nah, he just drops it. Yeah, that's all he does. He just drops it.
Yeah, I mean, like the
I also wish that she would have explained how the people in the damn paintings work, because in the book he goes up to Dumbledore and he's like, "Hey, how are you?" And he's like, "Hey, how are you? Harry? You doing good? You figure out what I left for you?" And you're like, "Why did Dumbledore? What was the point of him dying? Like, it turns out he can just ask this painting everything." Because he goes, "Hey, you know that thing in the thing you gave me? Yeah. Okay, well, it's somewhere in the woods. Is that okay? Yeah, that's totally cool." Like, okay, if the painting knows, then like, why not this entire time where they're like, "Hey, Dumbledore, big battle. Any tips?" You're not here, but like you are. You can still give me this advice, because like I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I don't think they included that in the film. If I'm remembering right, there's no painting of Dumbledore.
No.
For maybe those same reasons.
Well, because it's a giant. I remember reading that. Sorry, tangent. But I remember reading that and I was like, this is such a huge plot hole. Because throughout the entire book, and I guess in the movie too, he's like, "I just wish Dumbledore was here to help me. I don't know what I'm doing." Well, Harry, you got one of those chocolate frog things. Why don't you just ask it? Hey, you're the same thing as all the other paintings established in the very first movie.
Vanishes.
What do I do?
Whoever said this wasn't all in your head?
Not to
Of course
mention
it's all in your head.
the paintings talk to each other. Is that ever shown in the movies?
Yes.
Like, we're going to the headmaster's office and being like, "Oh yeah, nobody's there." And then they come back.
Oh, that I don't know. I don't think so.
Like, because
You spend less time in the headmaster's office than
no, but when
you
like
do in the books.
when like yeah. Anyways, plot holes, stuff that I thought about. I'm actually really glad they didn't make it to the movie, because like then you would have also seen on there like
Would have
Harry.
felt very ex machina stuff.
All right, like it just wouldn't have added up. Like if Dumbledore is gonna just be like, be able to communicate through a painting, what's the point of sending Harry to do any of this stuff, right?
Yeah.
You can just flip out the pocket. It's like a text message. He's like, "Hey, what happened?" Anyways, that's like my thing that I dislike the most about this movie, is that it just kind of continues on the weird discrepancies that I have, like beef that I have with the book, where I'm like, you can tell, like, even in the movie, you can tell where JK like was like, "Okay, I've been writing these books for 20 years. I'm fresh out of ideas, right? Like, I don't know what else to write." So
I'm gonna make billions off of this anyway.
Snape loved Harry the entire time.
Hey. Can I go on a tangent?
Go
Can
ahead.
I go on a tangent? This is probably gonna make some fans of the books / movies like maybe angry. But
I
Snape?
applaud it.
Snape? Freaking creep. What the heck? Are you like his whole motivation? Like, yeah, he had like a heroic sacrifice at the end and he like, redeemed himself in a way. But but like legit, the only reason he did anything ever in the books was because he had a crush on Harry's mom. Like, yeah, maybe like the movies definitely try to paint it so that
should have been me.
like nothing. Like I honestly can't remember if this actually is a thing in the books or if they just showed it in the movies. But like nothing is weirder to me, especially now, than seeing that Snape went to Harry's house after Voldemort murdered them and cradled Lily in his arms. That's not your wife, dude.
Yeah.
She was
Our
like,
kid's crying in the crib over there, and he's like,
nice guys
you.
finish last. Like,
"Screw you, kid."
like, bro, she didn't love you. You're holding on to this for like 20 something years. Like, back off, man. Like, your Patronus is hers? What the heck? What's wrong with you? Like, she never loved you back. She had a kid with another man. All right? And they stayed married. She died for that child she had with that man. All right? What is going on? You never learned to clean your hair the whole time?
James was an awful human. Also, James lying in the front room because he was defending his family. Well, he wasn't that bad.
Like, yeah, it always, like, they tried to paint the picture that, like,
Snape was
that, like,
just...
like James was, like, you know, kind of a bully, which he was, but he was also still, like, an outcast. You know, the whole Padfoot prongs, all of that.
Yeah.
Like,
that's another thing.
But, like,
to put in this tangent, the whole, like, Harry, your dad was an ass. Like, my father was a great man.
Your father was a swine.
Let me take your memories.
Oink, oink then, bro.
Holy crap, my dad was a jerk.
Maybe I should have been Slytherin.
Like, that whole thing also just added on to, like, this weird unnecessary... You can see the exact moment in the books where you can watch J.K. Rowling's little mind gears go, wait a minute, this is a much better story. Pivot.
And, like,
James sucks. Snape's cool now.
and, like, his, you know, he's a double agent. He protects Harry just because he's Lily's son.
Harry, I think you need to get a restraining order.
Yeah, that's like straight up like you get arrested and you go to prison for that kind of behavior, right? If Lily was still around when Harry, like if Neville was the chosen one and Harry went, like I can't imagine how weird Snape would be with him.
A godfather, he's like, hey,
Harry, bring your mother to parent-teacher conferences.
Screw that dad of yours.
She's there. Professor, it should have been me. It's like
in the Half-Blood Prince book, he's like, there's a lot of pictures of my mom in here.
Like in the back, like frickin' James Potter. I hate that frickin' guy. I'm writing a new spell to cut his arm off.
Oh, it's so true.
You ever wonder if that's why that he made that up?
Oh, absolutely.
For James.
Yeah, absolutely. And then he's like, how dare your boy use my own spell? And you're like, tracks.
Gosh, I like.
It should have been me.
Like the whole, like if you look at Snape as a character as a whole, just like with most people, they have redeeming qualities. There's reasons to like this man.
Yeah.
But like
that is such
him deep down, if you're really looking at who he is and why he does what it is that he does,
it's
and his
motivation
up. He's creepy.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine the person you had a crush on in high school had a kid and you became their teacher and you're just like, I remember your mom.
You raised him like a lamb for the slaughter.
Yeah, and you wanted to get with the shepherd, bro. Like, back off. Jeez. Oh my gosh. Enough. There's my tangent.
No, it was a good one. It's true. It is, again, you get to a lot, as I've gotten older, and I know that we said we wouldn't talk about the books way back when.
All 3 episodes of this.
But it's because the movies are based off of these books. And the unfortunate thing is when these books are poorly written, when it translates onto the silver screen, you're like, this just makes it more weird. And it makes it harder for me to like follow and get behind. Like, especially like the physical representation of that whole thing with Snape and Harry and Lily. You're like in the book, it kind of makes sense because like Snape's also like supposed to be on guard, like protecting James and Lily because he knows, like they all know that Voldemort's coming for him. So it makes sense why he's there. But in the movies, it doesn't ever explain that. It just shows Snape like, my lady.
Like you get one scene.
And he like brushes her hair and her eyes are like not even closed. Like the dead blank stare. Like
You get the one memory where Lily is being nice to Snape, and Bro develops a crush, and it just never goes away.
So
Bro goes to extreme lengths.
The movies definitely add really bad consistency to that whole thing. But again, you can see where JK like pivots and is like, I'm tired of writing this. I'm going to write this now.
He used to be a Death Eater, but now he's good. There was purpose to that.
What is this purpose?
Harry, duh.
His mother's eyes. That makes that line so much weirder. You have your mother's eyes. Oh my gosh, bro, stop. I have to go to the bathroom now. Like, excuse me?
The resurrection stone should have been mine. They would have seen the same people. What would Lily have done had Snape brought her back with the resurrection stone?
She's like, my
Severus?
My son. Wait a minute.
Severus, put me back.
James sitting right there like, seriously, bro?
You still got a huge nose.
All right, let's pull this guy up.
I may be dead, but you still suck. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry for all of you Snape lovers out there. You know who wasn't a Snape lover? Me and Lily Potter.
I don't even know where to continue off of that.
Well, I have an idea. She wasn't on screen at all, but my dog just walked past. That never happens.
Looked at us with her big eyes like, excuse me, I'm trying to sleep. That's, I don't know, that took it out of me. That's about all I got.
I feel like, you know, it being the end of Magic Month, we should at least talk about the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Do you think that it wrapped it up nice?
No, I don't. And for like really one reason, and that's it's everybody's beef with the ending of the movie versus the book. And that's like Voldemort like
being Thanos snapped
versus just dying. Right?
Yeah.
Like the whole point, and this is where I think that like sometimes movies take it too far when they're trying to do like adaptations of books, is that they're trying to be dramatic and heroic and like building off tension and XYZ. That
really make you feel like, oh, the battle's over. He's physically gone.
But the whole point of like this final battle and Harry versus Voldemort is that despite how hard you try to make yourself immortal and like a god and the Dark Lord, he's just a man, right? He dies like any other person would, just falls over. And that's something that I, to this day, when watching, I don't enjoy.
And even then, like we miss what happens in the book, where like everyone that's there still like pretty much tramples his corpse.
Yeah,
and like dances on it.
And Harry's got this cool like line, like this cool set of dialogue in the book leading up to when Voldemort dies, where he's like, "You're not as cool as me. You have no nose.
I really am my dad. You suck. You have no hair. Nose is weird. You have a forked tongue. Eyeballs, whack. Tom. You and me, Tom." That was always something that, like, obviously it happens in the movies, but it doesn't hit as hard.
It doesn't. No,
You're like, oh, not only
he fades away and it, like takes all of that stuff where he's like, "You're Tom." Okay, well, Tom is dust.
Tom is in your lungs.
Currently, Tom is up there. Go take one of those little feather things, a duster.
We're all secondhand smokers of Tom Riddle now. Numino ultra microscopic silico Voldemort coniosis.
It just makes it weird. Like, Anyways, not a fan of the ending. It defeats the purpose of the movie, of like the story. But
yeah,
that's all I got.
Yeah, I don't got much more either. This has been Magic Month. It was November, and then now it's December. We're very excited and looking forward to next week's episode. Everybody needs to tune in. Everybody. Tell your friends. Post it on your social media. That tends to do really well. Right? If you've made it this far, we love you. And we love you especially. You're watching Disney Channel.